Welcome back to the Bunkhouse podcast. Today we're talking about Dutton Ranch. We're talking about the entire season, full thoughts and opinions, spoiler free, then spoiler full. Make sure if you're a fan of film and TV, don't forget to like on this video. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, give a 5-star review and all that good stuff. And make sure you go and check out the Bunkhouse websites for everyone's full reviews on not just shows like Dutton Ranch, but films as well. Today in the Bunkhouse, we have Joe, Luke, and Kestis. How's everyone doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm very good.
Very good.
Right, I'm going to take this hat off because my head...
We have Kestis back.
Yeah,
I have
Yes!
Not dead.
yeah, so let's just talk about what's everyone been watching or doing this week. We'll start off with you, Joe.
I've not watched a great deal this week because it's been a bit of a mad one, very unexpected one. But I have watched obviously Dutton Ranch. I've been doing a bit of a Nolan rewatch, so I watched Memento this morning. First time I've rewatched that. It might be the first time I've ever rewatched it actually. Watched Land Before Time because Joey's short film's coming out, so just thought I'd stick that on as a nice little quick easy watch. And then I've rewatched Toy Story 5, so yeah, not a great deal, but also some good uns.
Very nice. What about you, Luke?
I watched Dutton Ranch, of course. House of the Dragon episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that 2026 film with John Cena in it.
Little brother.
Little Brother. That's the one.
What about you, Kestis?
House of the Dragon, amazing so far. I watched obviously the last episode of Dutton Ranch, and I've watched it obviously since it started. I recently went through and did a rewatch of The Legend of Vox Machina, just because I been getting really into D&D as of late, so thought I'd give that a watch because Critical Role's amazing. And I also started my Letterboxd 250, where I'm watching all of the top 250 films that have the most fans on Letterboxd. Number 1 is Interstellar. Not watched it yet, but I've watched Dead Poets Society and La La Land up to yet. I'm saving Interstellar for cinema, which I've booked in for next week. So looking forward to that.
Ooh.
Big one. Nice.
It's a pretty cool
life-changing stuff watching Interstellar in cinema, especially if you like Project Hail Mary.
This is the thing. I did actually watch that as well last night, by the way. I forgot to mention. But yeah, I watched that with my parents last night. But yeah, I loved that film. So I've been told to wait until it's in cinema. So because never watched it like ever. So yeah, I'm watching it next week. Sorry.
Very nice. I did. Obviously, I've seen Dutton Ranch. I only watched that today because I had a busy weekend. Done a whole Nolan rewatch apart from the following, obviously his debut, and obviously I watched the Odyssey last night. Can't really say anything, but incredible. Like, I can give my social embargo. Can't give my review embargo, but unbelievable. Cannot wait till we talk about this on the pod in 2 weeks. But yeah, fantastic film, and can't think of I watched it. Just really Nolan, a little bit, a few films here and there, but yeah, just mostly Nolan. Ready for the Odyssey, but yeah, fantastic film. But let's get into the nitty and gritty. Let's talk about Dutton Ranch. Obviously, no spoilers, but can everyone give the rating out of 5 stars on this first season of Dutton Ranch? We'll start with you, Kestis.
I'm going to give it a 4.
What about you, Luke?
4.5.
You, Joe?
A 4.5 from me.
I give it a 4, personally. And let's just talk about Dutton Ranch. Let's just, what's kind of like your initial thoughts on the whole entire series? Who wants to start?
Go on, Joe.
I was very impressed. Obviously, we all went to the Prem for it, and I thought the first episode was very, very good. Very good at tying the, of jotting the dots between Yellowstone and Dutton Ranch, because obviously the only premise that we knew is that it was in Texas, when obviously at the end of Yellowstone, we were still in Montana, and they looked like they had their perfect little life set up. So I thought they were going to retcon it and act like they'd just gone to Texas. That's what it kind of gave off in the premise for the show. But I liked how they moved to Texas. Really like the new cast. Annette Bening and Ed Harris are insane additions, and I think like the villainy have been really good as well. I think it's been a really good sequel series, especially for like a new showrunner who is no longer the showrunner. But considering that Taylor didn't even write this, he just created the show. I think it's off to a winner.
Anyone
Yep.
else want to add the thoughts?
Yeah, like pretty much Joe summed it up, to be honest. It's like it has the Yellowstone feeling, but it's created its own identity for me. And I think it's done that by adding the fantastic characters and a brilliant cast. And I like I said in my TikTok video, I loved Azul. Zachariah was fantastic. Them two on screen was great. Oriana was probably the biggest surprise for me. I actually thought towards the end of the season, like her character really blossomed throughout the whole season. I thought she was fantastic, mate.
Yeah, I do think the new characters in this show are a great addition, because I feel like leaving Yellowstone behind and leaving so many characters what I loved, I think it's really hard to create that whole new world surrounding all these new characters like Ed Harris and stuff like that. But I feel like they've really set themselves up as like a great continuation of Yellowstone, and that's kind of something I want to talk about. Like, what do you all think of the continuation from Yellowstone overall?
Well, as in how it's going into this season?
Yeah. Like, what do you think of the continuation? Do you think it's been worth it?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I think it's always hard to start making sequels and prequels and all this stuff after a fantastically loved show, but the actual prequels have been loved as well. Some people consider them better than Yellowstone. I think Kestis might think that, actually. I'm not sure if he does.
What, the prequels?
Yeah. It's the 1883, 1923.
I'd say low-key, I do really like 1923 more than Yellowstone. But if I had to say anything out of all of them, it would probably be 1923. I'll explain more about that in a bit.
Yeah, I was actually I was so hyped for Dutton Ranch from the moment it got announced, but I was all a bit worried how Beth and Rip would do with their own show. They were still great in Yellowstone, but there was still vast amount of characters around them. But it's worked out well for me.
Yeah.
I really liked how Beth's character in particular progressed in it. For me, I mean, she's gone from this really. She just seems more calm now in this series. Like there was towards the beginning, she just felt a lot more happier, and I liked that overall character arc. And it was just good to see Carter's story take flesh a little bit more. Although it was, I will be honest, I do think it's probably one of the weakest things in the show. But it was good to at least get like a start on his story being progressed further. But yeah.
It's been like the main complaint, isn't it, from people, is that they really don't like where it's gone with Carter. Where I do quite like it. I think like towards the end of the series, there was a lot of samey stuff going on with him.
Yeah.
I
think that's I think that's what's happened with me. Like I thought I did like it as the story was going on, but towards the end, it like you said, it kind of felt like the same sort of thing. So I was a bit like, okay, but it's kept me on the edge of the seat with the ending. I'm not going to say much just in case. But yeah, can't wait for that because season 2's now been announced in it.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same with Carter. I feel like it's like I really wanted for his character to kind of progress, and obviously the whole relationship thing, and even though I like parts of it, I didn't like parts of it, and obviously we'll talk about this more in the spoiler bit, but I can understand your point there with especially Carter's character. But what do you think of, like, I know we're talking about Dutton Ranch, but I'd kind of like to talk about Yellowstone a little bit, like just maybe what do you think of like Taylor Sheridan as like a creator himself? But let's just talk about like obviously you've got Landman, 1923, 1883. Obviously, what do you think of Taylor Sheridan as a whole, as well as Yellowstone? What is Yellowstone done for you personally? What do you think of it as a TV show in general? We'll start off with you, Joe.
I think he's a genius writer. I think between at like face value, if you say to someone watch Yellowstone, they're like, "Oh, I don't like cowboy stuff," and like it's so much deeper than that. Like the emotional tones and themes that run through all of his shows are so deep and so well written, and the characters are so complex. Like Alex was just saying then about Beth and how she's evolved, but I think she evolves a lot in the show, in the main Yellowstone show as well. And Landman's personally my favorite project that he does. And the writing in that is genius. It's just, for something that's such a simple premise, of just like oil companies in Texas, it's so funny, but then can switch the tone so quickly and be so serious, keep you on the edge of your seat. Yeah, I think he's a genius, and he's so say. I saw an interview with Cole Hauser yesterday and Kelly Riley. Apparently, he's going to be involved with season 2 of Dutton Ranch. So
yeah, fantastic. That's what
I think for it to progress the way Yellowstone progressed, I feel like Taylor Sheridan needs more of a voice going forward in Dutton Ranch. I think they've set up like a great basis for Dutton Ranch, but I feel like for that universe to expand with all these new characters and storylines, I feel like Taylor Sheridan might be probably the best way to go about it.
I think that might have been the sort of goal, to try and lure him on board with like a really good first season, especially because it's in Texas and he lives in Texas and he's on the 406s and stuff. It's not like, and he shoots Landman for a couple months of the year. Landman's been delayed shooting wise. I don't think it's going to start until September, October, where usually they filmed in the summer last couple of years.
Yeah.
So last year they filmed Dutton Ranch towards the back end of the summer. So I think it's kind of, they've been playing on his heartstrings, and obviously where this first season is a really good start, I think he's probably seen it and gone, yeah, I think I could get involved with this, you know.
Yeah.
And Marshall, he's gone, nah, you're all right.
yeah, definitely.
I think everyone's been a bit like that with Marshalls. I don't feel like I've not actually seen Marshalls because it's not enticed me enough, just because of word of mouth. I think word of mouth's like a big play in it. I don't feel
Marshalls is all right.
What, have you watched Marshalls? Yeah,
I've watched like half of it. I think it's all right. It's completely different to Yellow, so it's a lot more action based. But it's a show about him becoming a US Marshal. He's going to be different, and I think that's why people don't like it, because it's very different. Yeah, but I think it's all right, to be honest. I do need to finish it, but
the only reason I'm probably not really inclined to watch it, not just obviously because of the bad word of mouth, but I don't feel like Casey's a strong enough character to run a full show on his own, where I feel like Beth and Rip are very, very capable. Where I feel like Casey would have been better off staying in like the Dutton Ranch. I feel like he would have been best going onwards with Beth and Rip, or being somewhere involved. And like, do you think that Casey has potential to show up in the future?
Yeah, I was literally going to lead onto that. I can envision that US Marshal. I can imagine Rip making a phone call.
Yeah.
And then Casey bringing the cavalry down, mate.
Once we get into the spoiler side of it and the way that they've ended this season, there's definitely a play that being a marshal could get involved with this in some way or another. They've obviously, throughout this show, in the first, I think it was the second episode, they have like a little kind of cameo where Rip's on the phone to
Walker,
talking about like, oh, there's a ranch down in Rio Paloma. So they're sprinkling little bits in here and there.
Yeah,
and I think that if Sheridan comes on board, then you'll start to see more people.
I think going back to your question, Eccy, I think it's crazy how I knew Taylor Sheridan from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
So that's where I first seen him. And then I think it's absolutely crazy what he's been able to do after having a dispute with the showrunner of that and becoming his own writer so late into his career, and then being able to just pump out project after project and then being to the standard that they are. I think he's crazy. He might be one of the best TV writers of all time. Like, that's what I think he can be.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, 100%.
I've only seen. I started Landman on the plane, but then when I was coming back from a honeymoon, Dutton Ranch was coming out, so I've just shelved that for a second. I also started the 1883, but he also has been involved in 3 movies. So he's got it's called the Modern American Frontier Trilogy, and it's Wind River, which he directed and wrote, which is fantastic. He wrote Sicario for Denis, and the third one is what's that film that me and you always recommend?
Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water. That's the trilogy, And it's fantastic. That's fantastic. So it's just an amazing writer. Absolutely fantastic.
What would you say your favourite, like between all your, I'll start off with you, Kes, is like, what would you say your favourite Taylor Sheridan project is, including movies, TV shows, anything he's worked on? What do you think your favourite is?
To be honest, I haven't yet watched Landman. That's on the list, so it might change depending on how good Landman is. I've heard good things, but I think so far for me, it has to be 1923 for me, mainly just because, and this is why I mentioned it earlier on as to why I'll talk about it later, and it's just because I think the writing is incredible. The overall story of like the Duttons struggling, obviously on the ranch with everything that's going on. But also the love story between Alex and Spencer is something that when it first happened in the show on like episode 2 or something like that, I didn't expect to like it as much. And at the end, they both ended up being like two of my favorite characters from the entirety of the series. So I think that would be for me, that would be his best one. But I always tear it up between that and Yellowstone because, again, it's the one that made me sort of fall in love with the whole sort of universe. And again, the way some of the characters are written, like Beth and Rip, for example, are just class. Yeah.
What about you, Luke?
Yeah, it's Yellowstone for me. I've watched many TV shows. I've watched many films. I've watched thousands of films. But there's not been quite a show that's impacted me the way it has outside of watching it, like Yellowstone. Like, I've got so many people to watch it. My dad, it just sticks to like Only Fools and Horses and stuff. My brother thought it was a little bit too slow. I told my dad, just watch it. Just watch it. He started it, I think, a week ago. I had to buy him season 5 this week because he was watching it on Netflix. So I bought him season 5, the whole series, and I just passed it him on the weekend to just go, it's Yellowstone for me. Fucking 180 cowboy hat, 5 pairs of Wrangler jeans, Ariat boots, Yellowstone t-shirts. Literally took over my life, mate.
What about you,
John? It's hard really because they're all so good in their own right. Like every time I've finished one of his projects, I've like kind of been hesitant to start another one in case it doesn't live up to the previous. And every single time I've been surprised because they're so similar but different. 1883 is incredible. It is so well done. And then 1923, as Alex was saying, I think it's the best thing I've ever seen Harrison Ford in. And I love Indiana Jones and Star Wars, but I think he is incredible in 1923. Proper owns that show. And the Spencer and Alex Dutton story is incredible. I think I said to you boys when I finished that show, I literally I've not cried like that at the end of a TV show, maybe ever. I was so surprised and so caught off guard of it. But I think my favorite's Landman. I think it is so well written. Billy Bob is one of my favorite actors. I think he's one of the most underrated and underappreciated actors. Still working. And that show, he's so good at casting Taylor Sheridan. This is like as well as the writing, but something I really admire when I hear him talk about his works is that he casts first before he starts to write because he wants to get the characters casted and then write specifically for that actor to play to their strengths. And he's not afraid to cast unknowns either. He was saying for the Madison, he I can't remember the actress that, not Michelle Pfeiffer, but the other female lead. He said that they had auditions with like several Hollywood A-listers, and then she'd never been in anything before, and she pipped them to it because she said like she was so good. I don't care that like Paramount wanted A-listers. I told them, no, she's perfect for this role. And the same with 1883. The two leads is Tim McGraw and his wife. Tim McGraw's a country singer, and his wife had never acted in anything before. And he auditioned Tim and then said, would she be interested? And he was like, oh, really? What, you reckon? He went, yeah, your chemistry is ridiculous, and it would ooze on screen. And she's insane in that show. Yeah, I just think he's a genius. It might sound like we're just blowing smoke up his ass, but it's deserved. I think it's just the like Luke was saying, the impact that like each of his shows have had on, like that he's written specifically, has had on me. It's left like a long lasting effect. But yeah, I think Landman pips it.
Not only that, we're talking about impact on. I said like on my life, just the way it's changed my personality in a certain way. It's changed yours. I actually think it changed ours because, like, look at the name of this podcast. Look at what got the conversation starting for this podcast. It's all come from watching a show that Taylor Sheridan created. So if we didn't all watch Yellowstone, we might not even be sat here today. So
yeah,
Boy,
I think that's pretty crazy.
And we're all branded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so literally spot on what you said, Joe. Literally everything, but like exactly the same for me. I think Landman's my favourite. I think Billy Bob Thornton is absolutely fantastic as like the lead. I think he's hilarious. I know a friend of mine who was like massive on Yellowstone, been telling me to watch it for years and years and years. He was said, "Oh, I watched Landman, I couldn't get into it," and I was like, "Trust me, watch it. Just go and watch it." And he said like he probably has it over Yellowstone now. It is genuinely that good. And that's exactly how I feel.
No, I definitely need to check it. The first 2 episodes I watched were fantastic, and I thought, do you know what? This is not a plane ride watch.
Yeah.
It's not a plane ride watch.
I think it's like a lot of people complain about season 2 with it being like slow, but I think it's great like plot development. I feel like you learn so much more about every single character, and then the way it ends is absolutely perfect. And it's just like I'm more gutted that they've not started filming season 3 yet because I just need it because it's that good. But we'll get into like the quick fire little games. What we're gonna play. The first one we're gonna do like I don't even know what it's got. Like I don't know if it's like a Yellowstone verse, but a Dutton verse I'm gonna call it. Go do a little film like a draft of all our characters. We're all gonna pick 3 characters each. When the character's picked, it's gone. We're gonna go from. We'll start with Kestis, Luke, Joe, me, and then back round and do that obviously 3 times.
So,
okay,
which way are we going?
Sorry, so I can see it from my screen, but we'll do Kestis, Luke, Joe, then me.
And then we're going back around where you take 2
we'll
picks.
Me, Joe. I'll do 2 picks, and then Joe, Luke, Kestis do 2 picks, then back round to me.
So should Kestis take 2 picks from the start or not?
No, 1 pick, and then he'll do 2 picks at
the end. Then 2 picks, because then he'll get his 3rd. That's right.
Yeah. Right. So Kestis, you start off with yours first,
and it's just characters, yeah.
Yeah, from any of obviously the Duttonverse.
Okay, Beth Dutton.
Great pick.
Right, I'm taking Rip.
Bastard.
Yeah, bad bloke. I'm gonna take Jimmy.
Oh, great shout.
I was literally all first 3 picks are gone. I'm gonna go John Dutton, and then I'm gonna go Spencer Dutton.
Cool, nice.
I was just looking at Alex's face then.
Nice.
My second pick, I will take Lloyd.
No.
Good shout.
No. Okay, we include. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take Balua Jackson.
Yeah, good.
Okay. I'm going to go with Jacob Dutton, and then I'm also going to go with Alexandria Dutton. There you go.
Oh, it's come back to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm stuck between 2 here. I'm going to take Mo. That's who I'm taking for my 3rd pick because he is well good.
I had 2 main names left, and Mo was one of them. I'm going to take Tater.
That was my 2. That was my 2.
And my last pick, last pick. I'm going to go for Elsa Dutton.
Yeah, brilliant.
Good shout.
Should we go for all?
Yeah. I'll say mine. I picked Elsa Dutton, John Dutton, and Spencer Dutton.
The 3 Duttons.
3 Duttons. And I had Jimmy, Lloyd, and Tater.
And I had Rip, Balua, and Mo.
And then
personality there. This personality there, man.
And then I took Beth, Jacob, and Alex Dutton.
Yeah, they're good.
I think everyone's got really solid picks. I think it's like a hard one to decide which one's the best.
Oriana was close to getting a pick there.
Yeah,
you
she
know.
was man near the top.
She's
to be
so
honest,
good, man. Towards the end of the season, she's so good.
Right, the next game is one that we've never ever done on the podcast before, and basically everyone, like you three, I'm not playing this one. You three all get £20 each, and you have to bid between you for these characters. So there's 9 characters in total. You're all going to get 3 each. Whoever top bids gets it, and at the end, whoever didn't bid,
so we have 20 quid.
Yeah, so you have 20 quid, and obviously you have to try and be really careful with what you spend your money on.
How many picks have we got?
What, sorry? There's 9, so you'll all get 3 each.
All right, okay.
Yeah. So when your three's up, and the other 2 or whatever get to pick. So the first character you're going to bid on is Eric Cartman.
Who?
Eric Cartman.
From South Park.
This is Dutton Ranch.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, sorry, I should. The TV
Right.
Sorry.
This guy.
Oh, sorry. When I said Prask Game TV show, I meant like TV show edition.
Right.
Okay. I didn't want to do too many Dutton Ranch characters because we just did a draft. So this is just a Prask draft of. It could be any TV show what I've picked. They could be good, bad, whatever. So the first one, Eric Cartman.
Right. Who wants to start the bidding?
We'll go with Joe.
No, it's whoever says it. If Joe doesn't want it, he doesn't have to put a bid down. You can go $1, $2. Obviously, you'll get 3 characters. So,
is this the right time to say I've never watched South Park?
Boo! I'll go 50 cents.
It has to be round. It got to be a pound.
No,
can't be cent. Can't split in half.
I give you £3.50 in a Freddo.
That's about 7 quid.
All right, well, we'll kick it off. We'll go $1.
Right. Okay, $1. Anyone higher?
No, you can have it, mate.
I'll go
Right,
$1.
okay then. So you got 1 character gone. The second character is Jon Snow. Jon Snow.
£2.
3.
7.
8.
9.
10.
11.
I'm leaving it at that, Brev.
Right, okay. Right, Jon Snow went for $11. Well, £11. Right, the third character.
He's going to get left with a stinker.
Is Sherlock Holmes. I'm talking Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes, by the way, not the character in general.
Ooh,
£1.
Never seen it, but 2.
By the way, there could be bad characters on this list, so just be careful about not bidding.
I'm out, man.
£3.
4.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you can have him.
Sound.
Okay. The next character is Michael Scott.
£10.
Have him.
Have him.
Lovely.
I don't
have 10.
Yeah,
I don't have 10.
That's why I've done it. It just priced you out straight away.
Yeah, I don't even have 10, mate.
Right, the next one, I feel like this is going to go a bit chaos here.
Oh,
Jake
no.
Rat.
Oh no, what a smelly £1.
2.
3.
4.
6. That's Luke out.
7.
8.
You haven't got 8 quid, have you?
Oh, I have.
What have you got? Just 8 quid?
I've got 8.
9.
Taken.
Lovely, I got a
Right,
quid
so
left.
can we just go through what characters everyone's got and how much money you've got left?
I have Eric Cartman, Jon Snow, and $8.
Right, okay. What about you, Joe?
I've got Michael Scott and Jay Cartwright, and I've got a quid left.
Cassius, have you got anyone? No?
I've got Sherlock Holmes for 4 quid, so I'm left with 16.
Whoa.
Right, okay.
Passed out.
I've got J, so I've completed it, mate. So it doesn't matter.
Right, okay. So the next one is
Here we
Dexter Morgan.
8.
9.
I can't do it.
Are you not going, Joel? No.
He's
I've
got
got
a
a
quiz.
pound, mate. I got 9.
He's got a pound, mate.
I forgot you got a quiz.
He's out until he's
This
safe.
is going to be the worst one. This is where you go think, oh, why did I spend that much money? So this one is Darth Maul.
How much has Alex got?
How much you got, Alex?
I have 16,
7 quid.
7 quid.
Oh, really?
How much have you got, Joel?
Oh, really, mate?
At a pound.
I'd be careful with your money. You never know. You never know. Anyone want a bid?
Over to you, Alex, man.
Yeah, because you're just gonna bet 8, ain't you?
Over to you, pal.
Right, 1.
I've started at
just
1.
one more, mate.
Have you done 1? Okay, 2.
Hang on a minute. How many characters you got?
3. 2.
So you need this for your third one, do you?
Yes.
Are you betting $2, eh?
Yes.
Have him then.
Sam.
Yeah,
Thank you.
can I have him? I'm risking it. I'm not taking it on Darth Maul. Go on.
Darth Maul's sick.
Yeah, but I've got $8. I've got the most money, mate. If he drops a Heisenberg, I've won.
Right. So the next character is 11 from Stranger Things. So one of you has to take it as your last pick.
No, I'm away.
Start the bidding off, Joe, mate.
Nah.
Start the bidding off, Joe, mate.
I'm good.
Start the bidding off,
If
mate.
none of us want her and she's the last pick, we'll have to.
How many characters are
You
left?
can rock, paper, scissors for it. One of you that has to pick. So you
How
can rock,
many
paper,
characters? How many characters are left?
There's 2
There's
left.
one
isn't there?
more. There's 11. Whoever gets 11, the last one, whoever doesn't get it, gets it. The last character.
Oh, do you know what? If it were like, she just ruined it in season 4. She's actually a good character. Or is it 5? 5, season 5, whatever, which one it was.
And 2.
How are we going to decide this? I've got the most money. I should have the biggest pull here, mate.
No, it doesn't matter.
You can rock, paper, scissors for it if you want.
But if it's a bidding war, surely he has to bid as well. I can't just put
No,
him
because you have to start the bid.
Yeah.
But none of us want
25
to.
cents.
You'll have.
But none of us want it. That's the point.
25 cents.
All right, 99 cents.
99 cents. You can have it, mate.
No, it's joking. We said whole numbers for starters.
Nah, Eccy, mate. Eccy, you heard that, didn't you? Eccy, you heard that.
None of us
He's
want
only
her.
got $1.
That's the point. We have to rock, paper, scissors.
He can't
Just
beat
rock, paper, scissors for it.
Rock, paper, scissors.
We're doing rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
Oh.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Again.
Let's do it on time.
Yeah.
You shall. One of us call.
Right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Again.
This is fucking shit.
Ready?
Again.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yeah,
you
win.
Luke wins, so Joe gets 11. And the last and final character is Walter White.
Game's gone. Well, at least we both got a Baldy, so
Right. That's
so
how you win.
Characters again, Joe. You start.
What was it again? Sorry.
Which characters did you get? Sorry.
Oh, I got Michael Scott, Jay Cartwright, and 11.
It's a solid 3. That's
Yeah,
a solid
it is a
3.
very,
That's
very
a solid
solid
3. I got Eric Cartman, Jon Snow, and Walter White.
You got 2. Like Eric. Actually, you just got 3 solid characters there.
Yeah. I got Sherlock Holmes, Dexter Morgan, and then Darth Maul.
Also very good.
Yeah,
Dexter Morgan's solid.
It's going to be a very tough one for whoever watching it to decide who wins. Right, now into the main Dutton Ranch discussion. We're going to talk about everything spoilers here, so if you want to tune away if you haven't finished it yet. So, yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first question is, what is your favourite part of Dutton Ranch?
Who wants to go now, Joe? You can go.
There's a few. I like the start of it where they're set up on their own ranch. They've got this like really good genetics with the cattle. I like seeing Rip sort of in charge, and then I also like seeing him when he becomes the foreman of 10 Petal and he's bossing everyone around again. That is so cool to see. And also like when he goes into the 10 Petal, the main house and stuff, and he's just taking no bullshit.
Yeah.
I really like the way that it's setting up with like a different threat than we've had before with like the cartel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's like a really cool setup for another season. I just like the way that it's progressed and how like we all thought it was just going to be like them on their new ranch. It'd be like them against 10 Petal and there'd be a bit of a rivalry, and that was kind of how it was going. And now it completely shifted. If 3 episodes in, if you told me that 3 episodes later they would be working for 10 Petal, I would not have believed you. Seeing Beth again, sort of like in that lawyer business sort of role when her and Beulah go and pitch 10 Petal to that restaurant. Sick. And I think probably, which is a bit of a surprise for me when he got introduced, but I think Zachariah might be my favorite new character. I think there's like I think there's something going on with him that they're not revealing. They're kind of trickling him in with his storyline, and I think there's going to be a bigger backstory to his girlfriend or his wife that he accidentally killed. I think she's going to play a role of who she was or who was she connected to, because so far basically everybody's been connected to someone in one way or another. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. There's loads of points, to be fair. Even I can't think of his name after Dwight, the guy that befriends Carter. Really liked his character whilst he was still breathing, and his cheetah or leopard or whatever the fuck it was. But
I thought that were a bit random, me.
So yeah, that is my main point of the season. What I didn't like, I thought it is such a weird route to go with like Dutton Ranch. Like I felt like I was so excited for Carter, and then it was like I could understand him rebelling from school, but then it's like I'm not even joking. Like, I think he might have been in it for like 2 episodes where like he's like it works with him, and he's like, then suddenly he's just absolute like he's been working with him for years and like absolutely loves him. He's changed his life. He's got this cheetah for like some reason, and then obviously it just gets shot. And then it's the way like there's not really been any repercussion because of it. It's like it's weird like the police officer. Like the police officer obviously shoots him for no reason, and then Curtis tries and gets a job with him. It just doesn't make sense. It's really weird. It's like they've kind of made this. It's like they've added into the story and gone, shit, this character's like wank. Let's get him out, shoot him, kill him. And then it's like, oh, what can we do? Oh, let's get Carter as a police officer off the cop who just killed the person who he looked up to. I don't really find how it makes sense in this story.
The way it played out was really strange, wasn't it? Because I don't know about you, but we were watching it, and when he says, "Oh, come down here," and they've obviously been drinking all day, and he's lowering him down the bottom, and I looked at Meg and went, he's going to nonce him here.
Yeah, I thought he was going to bum him.
he's taking him down the bottom of his garden.
I was like, that is devil. I was like, I remember looking at Leo going, he is going to get him. He's going to get him.
I looked and was like, oh my God, he's going to nonce him. And then they got down the bottom, and there's a fucking leopard down there. I went, well, that's taking a different swing.
I thought it was a bit mad.
He's just a nice bloke that's befriended him because he's lonely, and I was sat there thinking, I've watched too many Netflix crime dramas here. He's going to get his head bummed off.
Yeah, it was like, it was literally like, oh yeah, come here, and he's like, oh my God, he's gonna like Curtis, gonna get it here, and he's like, you want to see my cheetah, mate? Like, just like, what, this cheetah? And he just like, all right, oh, sound. And then like the best mate, he's so weird.
Mate, I thought it was mad. Like, meets him in a supermarket, takes him back to his ranch, gets him pissed, and then like come down at the bottom of the garden, mate. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here, mate?
It's so weird.
I thought this is taking a bit of a dark turn. He just pulls out a leopard.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Look at this lad. You want to feed it? And he's just like, yeah, sound. It's so random.
It is. That was the only part. Like, I didn't mind the Carter storyline with the whole self-discovery, about his parents and all that sort of thing. I thought, it's kind of cool, but it did get when you're like 3 episodes in. I proper didn't like that stuff with the garden party. Proper didn't like that.
Oh yeah,
I thought, fucking hell, man, come on. Yeah, I didn't really like that, but I really like Carter as a character, though. To be honest, I think there's way more to come from him. He's at his best when he's with Oriana.
Yeah.
Apart from dropping cringe lines on Back at Boat,
I did like it. At the end of
football,
that.
the bad brother. Look at what you're smashing. Come on. Right. Don't start dropping "I love you" after 24 hours. She's going to sack you off.
Yeah, it's the way he's looking at her. I was like, "What's he going to say to you?" And then he just goes, "I love you," and she's like, he should know.
Yeah, but I think
the type of girl she is. He doesn't want to hear that.
That's weak game.
Thing is, I think every bloke's probably been in that situation before. When, like, especially when you think of like his backstory in Yellowstone, he literally lived in the. He lived in the farmhouse or whatever. No, he lived in the barn, didn't he? In that little room that Rip used to live in.
Yeah.
So he had no sort of like contact with anyone except from there was that little spell at the end of Yellowstone where that girl gives him a bit of attention at the branding, and he's like,
yeah, I think they're together, didn't they?
Yeah, doesn't know what to do. And then obviously he's gone from no attention and just spending time with horses, and all of a sudden he's given a fucking pedigree like that, and he doesn't know what to do himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I'd tell her I love her as well.
Yeah, you've changed my mind. I feel it. I hear it. If Oriana on boat there and I'd just like sipping a Coors Light and I looked at right, I'm going to tell her I love her as well. Yeah, fair enough.
she just looked at him like,
yeah.
Yeah, she looked at him like, yeah.
Do you not think
I've got a couple lines back home, mate. Calm down.
Do you not think it's a little bit like kind of? I can see where they're going with it. Do you not think it's a bit too repetitive of like a Beth and Rip story a little bit?
I think that's what they were gonna. That's what I thought they were kind of going for.
The way like Oriana's a bit like Beth, or like she doesn't want him, she wants him, doesn't want him.
Yeah,
and like, obviously she's come from like this rich family. He's like an orphan. I think like they've gone very similar, like right, like
both blonde.
Yeah.
That's I feel it. Both kind of both pictures. I feel it. Yeah.
To be honest, that was what I was going to mention as well. How they're pretty much almost a mirror image of each other, as in like Beth and Rip and Oriana and Carter.
What do you think of the storyline of her being pregnant?
Yeah, I could kind of feel it coming.
Yeah. So could she.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be his.
You know,
I think it has to be, doesn't it?
Nah, I think it's that guy from the party.
It's Zachariah.
No, I don't think he ended up. I don't think this. I know they slept together in the past. Yeah, they slept together in the past. They didn't sleep together that night.
I thought she meant like when she said it at the party. I thought they'd done it there and then already.
No, because she
were outside, and then after that, her nan had a heart attack. Where she goes, "Oh no, Gran!"
You only need a couple of minutes, fella. They've got a lot of land.
No, because obviously he insinuates that they have just slept together or she's sleeping with him, and she like says it's none of your business, and like she was saying that I have slept with him in the past, but like basically like calling him out like obviously for being a bit like clingy.
Yeah, that's a bit cringe, isn't it?
Yeah. What are your issues with the show? I know we've talked about obviously like obviously Carter's storyline, but what's your least favorite parts of the Dutton Ranch? I know we're talking a lot on positives, so I'm just wondering if anyone's got any issues.
Yeah, I think for Beth and Rip, it's their show, and I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. I think there's times where they really take the back seat, where I was interested in other storylines going on that had nothing to do with them too.
Yeah, so do you feel like you're interested more in the 10 petal side of the show then?
Yeah, I'm really interested in the 10 petal stuff. I'm interested in is it Beulah? How do you say it? Beulah, did I say
Beulah.
Beulah. Right,
Beulah Jackson.
Beulah Jackson and Everett's backstory.
The Neverland Ranch. Yeah, he's got. Yeah, Dwight's got a leopard. I got a little monkey called Bubbles.
And I got Kevin from Home Alone in the corner.
Shamon, Balua.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
the
was
business-
loving the stuff with Azul and Zachariah, and obviously you saying about Zachariah being your favourite character. It really grew on me at the towards the end of the season. I really felt like they were kind of rehashing the Walker situation from Yellowstone a bit. But I think there's more to Zachariah than I think you ever got with Walker. I think, to be honest, there's like an element to him that I feel drawn to him when he's on screen. And yeah, I liked the Rob Will. I thought he was fantastic. I couldn't
Rob
wait.
Will!
Rob Will.
Rob Will! Every time he comes on, I just go, Rob Will! And then you go, shut up.
I thought his name until I think it was the second to last episode was Rob Well, as in throw
Rob Well
down the well. But it meant it's Will, as in Robert William. It's like, why would you say Rob Well? It Rob is bizarre, isn't it? Rob Well. Stop tormenting your brother and sniffing drugs, motherfucker.
What's the Mexican guy called in it? Not Azul, is it? The other son that she was gonna
Joaquin, yeah.
Joaquin. I think
I like him.
That Joaquin and saying Rob Will's story is actually really good.
Do you not see
the build up to the end? I thought you could really feel it. I really liked all the stuff with Joaquin as well.
Do you not
he reminds me of Jamie.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I know they've referred to that in, like, I think it was like the second or third episode. She was like, you remind me a lot of my father's attorney, which was obviously referencing that, like Jamie and everything. But do you not feel like they've gone too much into Jamie, where obviously he's the black sheep of the family, and then now they've made it like kind of his dad's going to be a villain, the same as like obviously Jamie's dad was a bit of a villain a little bit. Do you not feel like?
Nah.
I kind of see
it's a little bit repetitive.
I don't see that, mate.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with his dad as well, because obviously when you see him in flashbacks, he seems like he's just a normal ranch hand that cares loads about the family and Beulah as a kid and like really protective. And then bloody in that last episode, he is brutal. He's like a proper cartel leader, like, and it's he's gone from it almost reminds me, like in Breaking Bad when you see Gus Fring's backstory, and he's like when he stood around the pool and his mate gets shot, and he's really coy and timid, and then obviously when you see him as he is in the main show, in the main timeline, he is like brutal. It kind of reminded me a bit like that. Yeah, I think they've left like so many different avenues to go down. I would have put money on that Rob Will getting shot or getting killed.
No, I didn't expect that coming.
Every season of Yellowstone, they always kill the villain off. It always
that's my biggest issue with Dutton Ranch. Like the reason I kind of got touched onto this point, I feel like it's been very similar and repetitive and kind of predictable, where at the beginning of the season, I could have predicted him dying. I didn't predict Joaquin killing him. I thought Rick would have killed him. But I was I said like to Lee and stuff, I said, he is dead at end of season 1. I guarantee it. And then when they touched on Joaquin and his dad, I either thought his dad was in prison and was going to get out of prison and he was going to return. The other thing I didn't predict that he was obviously never went to prison in the first place and just like fled the scene. And obviously the issue with Joaquin's mum and stuff getting killed at the border or whatever they're going to do with that. But I feel like a lot of it is very predictable with like, obviously like Beulah being in like having a touch on like the drug stuff. And I just feel like a lot of it's very similar. And I was like before the end of the final episode, I was like, he's going to die. And then especially when he was talking to Oriana, I went to it, he's going to get shot. And then the doorbell rang or whatever. I was like, yep, he's going to get shot. And she was like, you think so? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, you're going to hear a gunshot. And it was just like, and then she went down and he was dead. I was like, I could see that a mile away.
So, I thought there was a chance they were going to spin that where he was going to open the door and you heard the gunshot and she goes down and he shot Joaquin. I thought that might have been the spin on it.
Yeah, I
and then
kind of
obviously
thought
that like kicks
because
off.
of the talk between him and Ariana, like him, like, oh, I wish I was a better dad and stuff. I was like, yeah, he's gonna die, and now Ariana's not gonna like leave with Carter and stuff like that, and it's a way
he's
of
in the back of a boot.
Yeah,
he ain't going nowhere.
Straight after that.
With all that, I agree. When Rob Will and Oriana was having the conversation, I knew there was going to be a ring at the door, and we knew that obviously his dad had ordered Joaquin to kill Rob Will, and I thought, obviously, it felt too predictable. So I thought they were going to try to do the 50-50 switch, and then when it cut to black, I thought it's not going to be him because you already think it is going to be him, but then yeah, it was. But I thought it was going to be Joaquin on the floor.
Yeah, I think just like a lot of it's like very like same old, and I think that's why kind of it'd been nice if Taylor Sheridan did return because I think he'd create a bit more of a refreshing side of it. Where I don't know the name of whoever's like wrote this thingy, but I feel like he's very gone. I need to play this safe. Let's keep it very Taylor Sheridan-esque and kind of written it like oh, do you want to copy my homework? But change it a little bit. That's how I felt with like this season. Even though it was very good, it was very good. It felt very samey.
Yeah. I think with the whole Mexican drug cartel, I think really kind of saved it because I see what you're saying with the Jamie and the dad and that sort of thing. But I would have never guessed that it was the whole 10 Petal Ranch was getting backed from the cartel. I would have never thought that. Not even a million years I'd have guessed that. And I think it really makes it super interesting for season 2. We're literally going to see Rip and Beth go up against the cartel. And if that's not Rip and Beth, I don't know what it is because it just feels so right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that is kind of like my biggest complaint, not about like the cartel or anything like that. Like, I think that's going to be great. I think my thing was with Rob Well dying, just because I was like, I genuinely think he would have been such a good like sort of villain to have tied in with the cartel, especially being as he was like announced as the as like the next sort of owner of 10 Petal. I thought genuinely like he'd be a great like sort of villain for them and them battling against him and the cartel. But yeah, obviously. I didn't see it coming until literally she, like you guys said, when he was like, oh, I wish I was a better dad, whatever, and then gunshot. So yeah.
Yeah, do you not think I forgot what I was actually going to say then. Do you not feel like with obviously like with Rob Will, do you not think he wasn't a big enough villain for the season? Like, you know, every season's kind of iconic. Like you think of Yellowstone season 1. And I can't remember his name, but it was like very tense. And then the way, like, obviously they strung him up and hung him at the end, it was very cliffhangery. And I don't know. I feel like obviously I think it's just like the Sheridan thing. But
they've got like 4 or 5 villains, didn't they? Because the copper's bent in some way.
Is an intriguing character, you know.
Yeah, I
there's
feel
something
like
going on with him.
A lot in the future. I think it's one of them where they've kind of obviously it's like loads of branches, and it's one of them where each season they can go wherever they want. Where like next season they're going to focus on a lot with Joaquin and his dad. I've got a feeling the whole next season is going to be. This is the thing where I think if they don't mix it up with like Taylor Sheridan coming in and changing it a bit, I think season 2 you can predict a mile away. Where obviously it's going to be get Carter back, obviously introduce some new characters. It's all going to be about killing Joaquin's dad, and I feel like Joaquin will probably survive. And then going into season 3, Joaquin will probably be the villain. Then it's going to turn, and then you'll probably get a little bit more of that, the copper, who's obviously like, and then that could be like the villain of season 4. And I feel like you can kind of see where it's going already. And I feel like that's why Taylor Sheridan needs to come and mix it up a little bit and cause a little bit of havoc and stuff.
It'd be interesting to see how the timeline plays out as well, because a lot of Sheridan stuff, it's like, there isn't really any time jumps. It's all very close together. Like Landman set within a month, like first and second season, all of it happens within a month. Yellowstone doesn't take a time jump until after the bomb in Beth's office when they all try to get picked off. But up until then, that's all like within like a couple of weeks. I think it's 3 seasons, isn't it? 3 or 4? 3? Yeah, 3. And they're all within
3.
like a few weeks of each other until that happens. And obviously they have to show like John in his coma. But before that, it's all very quick. So it'd be interesting to see whether they pick up like immediately after Carter being taken, or whether there's a bit of a jump where they're trying to figure out where he is.
what's like your predictions for next season? Like, where do you think the show will go? Well, obviously, I've said what I kind of think. Where do you think, or where do you want it to go, as well as what do you predict will happen? Is there anything that you want?
Well, I think they'll get Carter back.
Yeah,
that'll happen.
Do you think they'll end up in charge of Tempetle? I think that's been kind of obvious. I think episode 1, I thought Dutton Ranch, that ranch, what they've got now is way too small, and I knew straight away that's some sort of way that they're going to end up with Tempetle.
Do you think Beth and Rip could end up working with the cartel?
No.
I don't know, man. I don't know how you can take out a cartel.
I think it's one of them where they can kill, obviously, Joaquin and his dad. Maybe Joaquin takes... they could kill Joaquin's dad, and then maybe Joaquin could take charge of the cartel, maybe. And it might be a running thing where they're against the cartel. Or I think it might just be one of them where they kill him off, and that's it. It's done.
I don't know how it's going to play out, to be honest. I don't know. There's so much...
Tempetle Ranch. 100%.
I think they will end up owning Tempetle Ranch, but I think that might be towards the actual finish of the show.
See, I think it's going to be one where they get it and it's protecting it, maybe. It depends how long, obviously, Beth and Rip in real life want to carry on with it, like Cole Hauser and that. It depends how long they want to go, because obviously they did Yellowstone for so long. They've come back for Dutton Ranch. It depends how long they want to do Dutton Ranch for.
Yeah. I think it could run for 4 seasons or more.
Yeah, I'm thinking exactly the same.
100%. The way Taylor Sheridan pumps them out, mate, we might get for season 3 by end of the year. Season 2 and 3.
Yeah. It's a tough one to see like where it's going, because until the cartel come into it, I think it was fairly predictable. It's like, I think they're gonna play Beulah from the inside, and then Beth's gonna like take over it in some way, and like obviously Rip's already running the bunkhouse, and they started to respect him. Like I can't think of his name now. I know the ranch hand, the one that basically tattletailed on the cartel.
The blonde-haired long one.
Yeah. He's an actual cowboy in real life. I follow him on Instagram a few weeks ago.
I follow him on Instagram as well.
Yeah, mad. And they make out that he's a shit one in the show, which is quite funny.
He's the one that confides in Zachariah as well, which I found quite interesting. Yeah,
so it'd be interesting to see how it's spun now, because I think that's kind of proper put a spanner in the works to see where it's going, because you can imagine they'd end up taking over Tempetle, but now there's like cartel involved, and drug running's always has been a part for like 15 years on that ranch. I don't know how you get out of that, or how they get out of it, and then they carry on that ranch without getting picked off, essentially.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on overall changing location? Like, I know we touched on that at the beginning, saying them changing from Montana.
Yeah,
Montana to Texas. Like, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I miss it.
Do you miss like the mountains and that?
I miss the landscapes and the scenery that it's shown. I think that was one of my favourite parts of Yellowstone. It really showed off the whole the place. I thought it looked ace. But
the thing in it was Texas, cool. And that sort of like landscape. It's very like flat and endless. Well, obviously in the mountains you've got all the backdrops and stuff.
You can get some cool sunrise shots and stuff. Yeah,
do you feel they're a little bit? They might be like, not talking. I don't want to talk negative at all, but do you not feel like they might be a little bit restricted with it being in Texas? I know there's like so much elements with like heat and disease, and obviously how hard it is to ranch out there. But do you think, like, because with like Yellowstone, obviously there's a lot with land and owning land, and obviously that was like the main integral part of Yellowstone of trying to hold that land. In Texas, it's like nobody wants that land, so I think it's kind of hard to keep that storyline going, because with Yellowstone, it was always someone's trying to take our land. We need to keep this land. Yellowstone, I feel like it's Dutton Ranch. It's not really like that, so it kind of feels a little bit restrictive.
It's hard to predict what comes.
It was a weird one, because Beth mentioned it. I noticed. I think it was in the second episode. She said something about they had wells on the land, which is obviously like oil wells because it's Texas, and that's what Landman's about. So I don't think they'll go down that route, or they won't. They're not just going to fill you with exposition and say, we're doing this because if you do this and oil, you make loads of money. Well, obviously, they even had that on Yellowstone. You can see them in the background, the oil wells and stuff. And that's just it's extra income. But they're not going to tell you about it in this show.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want that.
No, I don't think they'll talk about it, but that still makes the land really valuable, because even though, like, obviously they lost their herd and stuff. They'll still be earning a bit of money just from like oil wells on their land.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was a nice change, but when it showed the flashback in episode 2 at the start, and you even see like where they're at that motel, and you can see the backdrop of the mountains and stuff. You're like, oh, wish we were back there at some point.
Yeah.
I think we might end up seeing it if Carter ends up doing a run. I think that might be how the show ends. I think Carter might just return to Montana or something.
Well, end up like a John Dutton type role, like
maybe or
like that's his what he aspires to be into. Like he said it in Yellowstone, he said it in Dutton Ranch, where his dream is to be John Dutton. And I know they've gone into the point where he's kind of like looking at himself and does he know what he really wants? And I think like obviously that might be to like take away from him wanting to be John Dutton, but I'd like to see Carter take more of a leading role and to like kind of like grow up a little bit. Obviously he's young. I feel like there's a lot of potential with Carter. I feel like I'm kind of a little bit upset what they've done to him in season 1, even though it's really good. I feel like with him being kidnapped and stuff, I think he could progress a lot in season
2. Sorry, I think that a lot of the Carter stuff was actually quite good, and I liked it. It got a bit samey, but it still was all right. Do you know what I mean? I really loved the stuff with Oriana. I loved everything to do with Oriana. It's one of my favourite parts of the actual season. It was the thing with Lloyd that kind of confused me. Was it Lloyd? Was his name Lloyd?
Dwight.
Why am I thinking Lloyd? Dwight. Yeah, I thought that stuff got a bit... Huh?
Dwight at the bottom of his garden.
Bumming his head off. I think it's just a bit... It were a bit random. And again, we don't know the time frame. There's no way you would care that deeply about someone you just met like that.
No.
Like, I get it shot him and stuff, and it was probably quite sad. I can't understand why you'd really... That changed. It's like it almost changed him when he started going against Rip and Beth. And I didn't really like... I can kind of see it because it's a self-discovery. I don't understand why he's going so against him. I thought Rip talking to him in the barn was actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to have a scrap, mate. I think
thought they were then. I thought he was going to swing at him.
I think Rip needs to punch a bit of sense into the kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to take him to the train station. But yeah, as to Texas to Montana, as Rip said in one of the episodes, I missed the mountains.
Yeah. Do you not think, just the way you talk about the train station then, do you not think that hall where they're chucking all the bodies, do you not think that's like kind of, I think it's going to come back up with obviously all the bodies being in there. Obviously, I think, it's leading to something. But do you not think like Rip's being a bit like stupid, thinking, oh yeah, no one's going to look down here?
Don't forget the copper's got the gun.
Yeah, that's another thing I keep talking about, because obviously Rip's the last person to hold that gun.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Rabwell. He was like the last person to touch. Do you know what I'm on about? In the first episode, where obviously,
when he decks him.
Oh yeah, he does.
He picks the gun up. No, he doesn't. He picks the gun up and he passes it back to the guy who got killed. I can't remember his name.
Jet.
Jet. And he gives it back to him, and he doesn't grab the handle of it. Rip has the handle of it, and he gives it back, and he grabs the top of the gun, and then he puts it in a bag, and no one ever touches that gun again.
I thought he picks it up with like a napkin.
No, he picks it up with his hand.
Yeah, Rip don't. Rip just picks it up, because we were watching it, and Meg said straight away, she was like, he's grabbed a murder weapon now. He's grabbed a murder weapon.
Oh, I thought he picked it up with like a rag.
No.
Oh, it's definitely going to time back to him. Maybe that might be a storyline. Maybe it's some of the police going after Rip or something. That can all tie in. That's a great shout there. Yeah, it's definitely going to come back up. That.
Yeah, I thought it'd happen this season, and I thought it's a bit crazy that they haven't.
Oh, they've set that up. They set that up, haven't they? They've set that up.
Yeah. And what's your thoughts on the finale as a whole? The last episode. What did you think of how it ended? Think it was a good ending?
Yeah, I thought it was a good ending. But I actually thought, going into the final episode, I didn't feel like we was at a final episode.
No, I feel like Yellowstone does that, though, where you kind of get something happen in the beginning. It's a lot of building throughout the episode, and then it's always like the last 2 episodes, a lot happens. And I feel like they've done that again, especially, I feel like for end on episode 9 as well, it's kind of like you want 10.
Yeah, 10.
It's like it's ended on episode 9, and it's like it's just all happened all of a sudden, and it's like, oh no, I need season 2. But I think it's a great way to kind of make people want a season 2.
What do you think, Kestis?
I like the ending. To be fair, I like Eccy said, I think it's it's going to be a great carry on over into season 2, especially with what happened with Carter. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of get him back into back with Beth and Rip. But yeah, overall, I'm looking forward to where the story goes, especially with the cartel. Like, that's going to be sick, I think.
Yeah.
Nice. So last thing before we end the episode, can everyone give their top 5 characters from Dutton Ranch? Like, who's the 5 standouts for you?
Dutton Ranch. Ooh.
Yeah. Obviously, they can be old characters, new characters, whatever. Who's your top 5 coming out of season 1
of Dutton Ranch?
Go from 5th. First to 5th.
In order, or can we just shout them out?
If you want to do them in order, if you can't really rank them, I know it might be hard doing like Beth.
It's hard to rank this because I think we know Beth and Rip from Yellowstone. We know Beth and Rip from Dutton Ranch. I felt like this. I don't even know if the top 5 characters in the first season. Me.
Yeah. So exactly, whatever you think, like whoever stands out first, all the way down to 5th. Not in general, just season 1.
I would probably have Rip over Beth. I think there was aspects of Beth I really enjoyed. Like I liked it in the first episode when she walks into the slaughterhouse and she tells them to stick it, and then I don't know. I just towards the last few episodes, it was a bit like he was just worrying about Carter, but giving him a bit of slack at the same time, and it just felt a bit like out of character, maybe. But I think it's just where she's like,
we want mean Beth
trying to become more of a mother, I suppose.
Yeah.
My 5, I guess, would be Rip, Beulah, Everett, Zachariah, probably Beth, actually. Probably Beth just about sneaks in there. Yeah, so I'd have Rip, Beth, Beulah, Everett, and Zachariah, I think, would be my 5 standouts, I think.
What about you, Kestis?
Obviously Beth and Rip to start off with. I am going to say Everett. I do think his character was slightly underrated, but I really do like Ed Harris in it. I think I'm going to have to say Oriana. She was definitely a standout throughout that, and she definitely does remind me of like a young Beth that we see from the little snippets that we see in Yellowstone. And the last one's a bit hard. I'm like a little bit split between Beulah, because I did like her character overall, but also I did also Carter. I really want to put him in there, just because the beginning of his story was good. Like I enjoyed it. It was just when it got to the bit about I can't think of his name, but the bit with like the leopard or the cheetah or whatever and all that sort of stuff, I'm a bit like, okay, but everything else I loved. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to lean more towards Carter, to be honest. But honorable shout out to Beulah, I guess.
Yeah. What about you, Luke?
I'm struggling, to be honest. I'm trying to decide if I think Beth has done enough in this season. I think we've got good moments with her. I think there's just other, Rip, Beulah, Zachariah, Oriana, and Everett.
Yeah.
Rob Will. See, for me.
Or Joaquin as well, though.
Yeah, Joaquin's solid.
I know.
I think the reason I'd put Beth in it still is because it's a long time since we watched the first episode now. And that first episode and the opening scene of them like sat sleeping under the stars, and then especially Rip during that scene when the ranch is on fire and stuff. It is so good.
Yeah, she was good with when the cows got shot as well, which we hadn't even mentioned, which is probably the most devastating thing that's happened in Yellowstone.
I told Sophie about that.
I think that's the saddest and most impactful bit is when it's just that scene where like Rip's really quiet and he's just stood there in silence. Oh mate, I was crying my eyes out.
Yeah. Rip got me a few times this season actually, because you could tell he showed a bit more of an emotional side to him. I thought, with him the cow stuff.
that first episode where he's carrying the cow and he's obviously just come out the fire. I remember at the premiere of that, I was crying in the premiere of that. That was like really emotional.
When he tells Beth he needs a minute.
Yeah.
He lays down and he just lays down, doesn't
he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So are you set on that 5 first before I go into mine?
No. Rip Beth. She's got to be in there. Actually, thinking about it, I'm being harsh. Rip Beth. Beulah. Oriana and Joaquin.
Yeah.
Nice.
For me, I kind of have it in order. I'd have Beulah number 1. I think massive standout for the season. I think like she's probably my favourite part. I think she has the most iconic parts. Then I'd probably go Rip because the emotional points, obviously the stuff with like the cows and that. Then third, I really liked Oriana. I think she's a great addition, and I feel like she's kind of where we didn't really get that much Beth this season. I think she replaced Beth this season for that third spot. Then I'd go Zachariah just because I like the whole mystery around him. I like the shootout, like the bit where he like might get killed and stuff like that. And I think he has like great progression of like where he's going. And then I'd have Everett at number 5. I don't feel like Beth would make my top 5 this season.
Yeah, now you've said it,
She is amazing.
It's great, but they've done. This is what I was saying earlier, right? When Beth and Rip have took a bit of a backseat, they've really worked on the side characters and made them so interesting that it's like the really good characters. Like I feel like with Yellowstone, we had like the mains, the John, the Beth, Rip, Casey. I only really started to care about the Bunkhouse crew later on in the seasons, like maybe season 3, like when you start thinking of the other ones and when Tita comes into it. But this time it's different. The side characters are so well written and so developed. It's really hard to pick this 5 for me, honestly. I'm really struggling.
Is that when you said that? Like, I know a lot of people talk about like the last season of like Yellowstone, saying like people saying like when John Dutton dies, like, oh, it was the end of Yellowstone, the last season, terrible. And it's like, John Dutton is fantastic, but I'd never really cared about him as much as I feel like everyone else cared about him. Like, he is fantastic, but like Beth and Rip was my obvious favourites. I think like one of the 2 greatest characters in television. I feel like they're so well written. But then I cared about like Casey, Rainwater, Jamie, even though Jamie's like a villain, I really cared about his character. I don't think he's that much of a villain. Yeah, I think he's a great character. Then Jimmy's fantastic. And like, obviously you got Walker and all that, Tita and stuff. I feel like it's so spread out, and I feel like that is what probably Dutton Ranch is trying to do. It's trying to build up the surrounding cast, so then you care about every single person for if in the future people do pass away or whatever.
I actually think, going back to a quick one, a prediction, I think this is where they tie in the 4-6ers.
Yeah, I hope it does come back. I love for CJ to come back. And Walker
is a weird one because
third,
even though it's in Texas, it's so far away because that Rio Paloma where they are, I don't know if it's real or not Rio Paloma, but that's literally on the border at the bottom of Texas. And I think the 4-6ers is like pretty north of Texas, so it's still a bit of a trek. Like, I hope they do tie it in some way or another. I think the only way they tie in the 4-6 is if Taylor Sheridan gets back involved because obviously he owns it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to say no to making money because I don't know if you sort of know the numbers of what he was charging per day for that because he uses his own film crew, doesn't he, for all this stuff?
Yeah.
And he charges per day like a lot of money.
50K or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, he's not going to say no if they're like, yeah, come. But that's the reason the Sixes series hasn't happened yet because it's a working ranch to film a full series there and not just like little bits and pieces. Because in the main show, you know the scene where Jimmy, Ali G's the horse. He basically he had to do that on first take because they didn't have many takes and they didn't have much time filming at that ranch. So yeah. So yeah, basically, so it'd be it's a hard one trying to tie that.
I think it's one of them where, because Taylor Sheridan's obviously leaving Paramount to go to Universal, obviously he's doing the Call of Duty stuff. I think his contract runs out 2028. They have literally got the next 2/3 years for try and tie in, like get Jimmy back. Maybe Jimmy leaves the 4/6s, I don't know. But I feel like if they want to carry on them characters, they've only got the next 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 seasons for tie it in. So
do you think any Yellowstone characters are going to show up in the next season?
I'd like to see Walker. I'd love
to see Walker.
Yeah, because he's at the 4/6s. He's not too far away. So I'm
I don't
surprised
think Lloyd will.
Anyway.
I don't think Lloyd will.
I think we'll only see Lloyd if that plays out where Carter goes back to Montana, and I think he'll tie in with Lloyd, and I think it'll be like a cameo or something.
Yeah,
and that'd be about it.
I still think Lloyd should have gone with him.
Yeah,
I was surprised at the end of it because he said, "Oh no, this is where I've been all my life," and obviously they were still going to be in Montana at the time, and he was like, "Oh, if I can't cowboy just here, I don't want to do it anywhere." So he's basically just, I don't know, retired or what? I don't know.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows? Maybe.
Yes.
I think if Rip made the call, he'd be there. But
yeah.
Right, I think that's a good place to end the episode. I think that concludes this week's episode of the podcast. Thanks for listening to episode 6, all about Dutton Ranch. Make sure you let us know in the comments who you think won at both of the games, who you think's got the best list on this whole entire episode. Also, let us know your thoughts on Dutton Ranch. Make sure you go and head over to the website, www.bunkhousecritics.com. Go and check out, I know Luke and Joe's reviews of the full season are on there. Me and Kestis will probably do one pretty soon. That'll also be on there. Make sure you go and follow us on TikTok, Instagram. You get updates on everything we're doing. Go and check out the QR code. And thank you all so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. And thank you very, very much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye, driver.